Hello, this is Jason Sciscoe. Welcome back to Overcoming the Spirit of Jezebel. We are moving into lesson number 4. In this lesson, we are discussing how Jezebel controls people. This is important for us to see the tactics that she used in the Old Testament, because these same tactics will transfer as the spirit of Jezebel works in the 21st century, whether it's in a family, whether it's in a nation, or whether it's in the church. First of all, she uses the law against people. Laws were made really to keep society flowing in a peaceful and safe, productive environment. Laws were originally intended for the betterment of everybody. And so we normally use a law only to apprehend people that are doing evil. Instead, what Jezebel does is she uses the law as a means to do her evil. Because she is trying to find loopholes, she is trying to find means by which she can take authority and manipulate it for her agenda. So, letter A of point number 1 is she does not keep the law. She has no fear of judgment, because she feels higher than the law, because she is the queen. But the people in the palace are required to obey the king and keep his laws. And she is not above telling the king about the slightest error that those in the palace may have had in disobeying his law. So she uses this element of holding people to the law, while at the same time, she has no accountability to the law. Secondly, or next letter, the letter B, would be she intimidates people to obey her with the same reverence that they obey the king. Because she says, well, I have influence with the king, and I will tell him about your dirty business that I know about, or I will explain to him how you were disrespectful, or you didn't keep his law in every regard. So if you do not respect me and give me the exact same obedience that you give to the king, then you and me are going to be in trouble. And she also constantly uses the fact that she is the queen to her advantage. Letter C, she is not a Jew. She has no loyalty to Jews and to their values. Therefore, she is not afraid to use the people's commitment to the law to her advantage. When you look in the scriptures, what you find is that Ahab wanted a piece of land that came right up against his palace, which belonged to Naboth. And Naboth did not want to sell it because it was a part of his family heritage. And so Jezebel found out, and she said, I will get this land for you. And in the process, what she did was get 2 sons of Belial, or 2 sons of the devil, really is what it means, that would be willing to do whatever for the sake of money, to bring 2 testimonies of blasphemy against Naboth. Now, it was a false testimony, but according to the law, and she knew the law, if there were 2 witnesses that said that he had blasphemed, blasphemy was punishable by death. And the people in the village hated anyone that would blaspheme Jehovah God, and so she used the law to her advantage and said, I want to destroy Naboth. Now, Naboth had not blasphemed, but no one could tell that, because there were 2 people that testified that heard him say it. And the people just backed up the testimony, followed the law to the nth degree, and she cackled all the way to get the title deed and give it back to her husband. So, in this way, she used the law against people. Point number 2, she uses people's weaknesses against them. Ahab had a weakness for her, letter B. She used that weakness against him. He had absolutely no influence over her, but she had much influence over him because of his weakness, his desire for her. He wanted her. He wanted her to be happy. He wanted to please her. He had normal feelings in his heart as any husband would have for his wife. But because she is an unmarried person living as a married person, an unmarried spirit with a married man. She is chaste only to her gods. She is focused only on her agenda. She doesn't have that. Her emotions are dead to Ahab in this regard. And so she is able to use his weakness against him in relative to what she wants to get done. Letter B, she got Ahab to tell her his desires and to speak the things that were in him that were forbidden. He knew he shouldn't ask for Naboth's vineyard. He knew it was illegal. It was immoral. He knew a king with all the resources that he had should not be worried about somebody that had one little piece of land. Look at all the land that he had. Look at all the palace that he had. But Ahab was stirred up by Jezebel. Tell me your hidden desires. Tell me your secrets. Tell me the things that go on when you really get honest with yourself. What's going on there? Be real with me. Don't be plastic with me. And so she sets him up to gush all of this private information. It's the same way that Delilah destroyed Samson. Tell me your secrets. Tell me your secrets. Tell me your secrets. What is your weakness? They try to get close and say all the nice things and be sweet and flattering until you feel relaxed, and then you tell all of these things. And so, watch this. When she got Ahab to tell her his desire, they made a deal. But he had to give up some of his power and influence in order to have his fleshly desire. What he gave her to use for one transaction to destroy Naboth, he never got back again. She used the king's name. She used the king's signet ring and authority in order to send messengers out and to do things that only the king's authority would allow to be done. And this set a precedent that if she could use his power once, then she could use it as many times as she wanted to use it. And for whatever purpose. The first time, she used it for his purpose. Next time, she uses it for whatever purpose. So in this way, she used his weaknesses against him. Letter C, she attempted to seduce Jason